Hello again. I'm still Ben. Let's find out what our topic is today. Something to fall out the back there, maybe. Pizza money example. Boy, I'm glad I got this one. This one's fantastic. Pizza money example. What on earth could I mean by that? Well, let me explain why poverty exists for everybody who needs a simple sort of idea for it. What happens with money is that it is a finite resource, right? We cannot have an infinite amount of it. Otherwise, printing it would literally work and we just keep printing more of it and everyone would be rich, right? If printing more money worked to give more money out and everyone could have more, there's no reason not to do it. But that's not how money works. Imagine a pizza, right? You normally got your big 8 slices in a nice round pie. That round pie represents the entirety of wealth, all of the money in the world, all of it. There can't be any more pizza. You can't order a second one. That one's all that there is. It is the total number of money there is. And we have that number. We know how much wealth exists in the world. All the number crunchers have crunched it. You can Google it up and be like, how much money exists on the planet right now? How much is the value worth for absolutely everything? People have cranked those numbers out. Absolutely they have. So the issue with wealth inequality and this pizza example is that we've got, worldwide, mostly a few hundred, nationally, maybe about 100 individuals who are taking the majority of the pizza for themselves. Now, I want you to think about, let's break it down to an easy number because everybody likes easy numbers. So imagine you are in, I don't like usually doing references, but this is going to be kind of the first reference I do. If anyone has seen the Mist film where they were kind of trapped in a grocery store because outside they couldn't get out. Imagine you're in that grocery store. Imagine that is the entirety of the resources you have because it's all there is. The same way that the entirety of the resources we have are the planet we're on. All right? Now imagine there's exactly 100 people in that store. One of those people is paying maybe 2 or at best 3 others to be violent bullies to the other 96 or 97 people and take most of the supplies in that store for themselves. That is what wealth inequality looks like in a very real way here. All right? It's going to just, I realize that I've mixed my metaphors a little bit with the pizza example, but you have to think of it in terms of what there is and what is being distributed. So in the grocery store example, if there were 97 of us in a grocery store and 3 other people said, hey, like 60% of this is ours, the other 97 would not listen to that at all, because obviously that's not true. No matter, even if the one guy was the store owner, right? Even if he was like, hey, this is my store, it's all mine actually, out of necessity, the rest of us are not going to listen to that instruction. And yet, in the global economy, we've let it happen that way. There's only a few hundred billionaires that are the problem, truly, and now maybe 1 trillionaire with the world's most divorced man. But continuing to think about it as a pizza example for why we can't just print more money, because I seem to see that so much that people just want to do that as if it would solve anything. That's not getting you more pizza, printing more money. It is cutting that pizza into smaller and smaller middle school pizza party slices, right? That's what happens. You print more money, you just divide it into more things. You divide that same value into more pieces. There's not more value, there's no more pizza. That's all we get. We have to make it a lot more equitable than it is, because this is a suicide run, the way we're doing this and letting it happen. So I need everybody to think of it this way. I want you to think of the pizza, think of the grocery store. These are 2 good examples of why we should not allow billionaires to exist, because it is the cause of poverty, okay? That's the part that I really want to harp on. That's what causes poverty, all right? Everybody in a grocery store would be able to survive for quite a while. And in fact, you've got all the fruits and vegetables. You probably have some way to maybe break through the floor, plant some of those to keep growing. It could be, theoretically, some kind of self-sustaining cycle if that's how we designed it. But instead, a few people are taking everything for themselves and telling everyone else to go ahead and burn. This is unacceptable, and it is violent and direct. There would be no poverty if there was no wealth. And as crazy as it is for people who are very much, I think you're just too used to being downtrodden that you still fantasize about wealth and riches. Wealth disgusts me, okay? That's another policy that I'll probably have to talk about at length, but it's horrible. These people, it's just unacceptable entirely. While so much of the world suffers, and they've got so much more than any human person could ever need or want or use. It's not right at all. And we could eliminate poverty entirely. We really could. But we'd have to eliminate both things. We'd have to eliminate wealth in order to eliminate poverty. And it's not like all of it, okay? I'm not saying we're going full communist crazy town and everybody's going to get the same kind of money or something. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that in what's called a normal distribution, for those of you who understand math and statistics, that is much more fair. That is much better. We do not live under a normal distribution, okay? Under a normal distribution, there would be some poor people and some people who are much better off. But the vast, vast majority of everyone would be under that little bell curve doing pretty good. That is entirely 100% possible. We just have to decide that we're going to stop taking crap from these people, okay? I'm Ben Howison. Sursum Corda.